It's Frank with Frank Talks. So, just so much going on right now, and I'm super excited. I'm gonna film a couple of videos at the same time, so you'll notice that I'm wearing the same shirt that I wore in last week's video. Um, I do wash my shirts regularly. I filmed last week's video just a second ago, doing these rapid fire. So today, this video should be released on 4th of July for patrons. And for non-patrons, it'll be released the week after. So happy 4th of July. Hope you all have or had a happy 4th of July. Um, and because I'm a political channel, I like to talk about politics and political philosophy. And I just wanted to talk about the different forms of freedom. The ones that come to mind are, religious, economic, and personal freedom. Um, and the great thing about America is that um, we embody all of all those forms of freedom. Not always perfectly, because we're a nation of humans and humans aren't perfect, but I still think that we're doing better than any country that's out there. Yeah, so I don't know. As far as religious freedom, that kind of tends to be the one that's most overlooked. Um, when I went to Boston, this is almost 8 years ago. uh, I remember going to. It wasn't Boston. It was Plymouth, the Plymouth plantation, I believe. Um, if I have that wrong, someone tell me in the comments. Uh, so we went to this. My family, we always used to go to historic sites and places where they do reenactments. Those were our vacations. Our vacations were always educational in some way. So now that I've outed myself as a big dork, um, I remember going to Plymouth, and I remember going on to this. I believe it was a slave ship, or maybe it was supposed to be the Pilgrims, like a uh, uh, rebuilding of their original ship. And we went in, and there was this reenactor inside the ship. He was supposed to be playing the captain of the ship, and he was talking about how the Pilgrims came over, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't care what they tell you on land. The Pilgrims came over for economic reasons, not religious at all. I don't care what they tell you on land." And for my conservative audiences, you kind of like really can recognize um, that's like revisionist history right there. And I wasn't even super political at the time, but I knew what was going on. Like this is revisionist history. I was like, I don't know about that. And I think I tried to fight him too. I think I tried to debate him, and my family was like, "No, stop, stop." But we can't remove the religious motivations from our founders and from the colonists who first settled here in America. Um, sure, there were economic reasons, as there were economic reasons are behind everything. Personal reasons are behind everything, but they came here to America because because they wanted religious freedom. They lived in a time where religion was the center of everything. So even if you don't believe in my faith, and I think most of my followers do. I think most of my followers share my religious beliefs. But even if you don't, there's still, you can't deny that there was a religious element in our founding and in the colonization of America. Um, and I quite honestly believe that is what led to our high respect of freedom, because in Christianity, liberty is a virtue. It's not defined the same way as the libertarians do, that you can do whatever you want, but liberty is the freedom to do what is right, what is good. And sometimes I think a lot of Christians uh, forget this. That sometimes within what is good uh, there are different options. So in other words, I'm trying to decide what I want to do as a career, and uh, I'm talking to the Christians now. What I want as a career. There's not just one option. There's multiple options that would be good moral options for me to take, and as a free man, I have the freedom to choose what I want to do for a career. The same thing when you're picking out a flavor of ice cream. You have the freedom to choose. It's not like God's up in heaven going, uh, you know, you better pick chocolate, man. If you pick vanilla, and it's gonna be the end of you. Um, no, that's not the way God sees things. That's the Christian view of liberty. Is that there, you know, uh, freedom within what is virtuous, um, and even if you don't believe in Christianity, hopefully that gives you an understanding of the founders and their idea of freedom. It's not like this libertarian volunteerism, even though I think that voluntary actions are more moral uh, than coerced actions. Um, but that doesn't mean that just because it's voluntary that it's moral. So those are just my thoughts on those things. I kind of tend to ramble on that subject a bit. Happy 4th of July to everyone. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like. Like our page on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. And check back here every Friday for new videos. Thanks.